삑삑 소리 난다.
We just, for people at home, we're just starting out with playing this game, so you can try it. The name of various things. Okay. Alright, very quickly. What is the name of this? What do you think? The first one? So it'll be a complex carbohydrate. Yeah, polysaccharide. Polysaccharide. Okay, what about this one?
Triglyceride.
Saturated fat. Do you know what's the name of that? Triglyceride. So excellent, very good. So Matteo, triglyceride is made out of what? What do you think it's made out of? Three what? 1, 2, 3. 3 what? Fatty acid. Fatty acid. So each one of these is actually a fatty acid. 3 of them stick together with the glycerol and you become triglyceride. Okay. What about this guy? What do you think? Yoo-hook. What is the name of this one?
That's unsaturated.
Unsaturated fat. But what kind of molecule is this, you think? We just talked about it.
Triglyceride.
Triglycerides. How about this?
What's the difference in that? Why is it different?
It just have different fatty acids. So this one have 2 saturated fat and 1 unsaturated fat. This one has 3 unsaturated fat. This one is a protein chain. Okay, protein. This is actually a hemoglobin. It have a heme group. And hemoglobin is something that is inside our red blood cells to carry blood oxygen around your body. This one is, yes. Oh, this one is a good one. I think this should be a candy bread or something.
Oh my god, which one?
This one. What do you think it is?
So fat.
It's a fat, but what's the name of it?
It's Untitled Fat.
No, Mike, yes.
Trans.
Alex, what is it?
Phospholipid.
This one is phospholipid?
No,
close. This one. Okay, it's a fat. We figure out that it is a fat, and it have 3 little things. So,
Triglyceride.
it is triglyceride. This is actually a triglyceride. And then you follow this.
At the same time, so we get.
you both get it. Okay. This is the cis fat. What about this one? Cis. If you draw the line and then you draw a line through the double bond and then look at the group, it is on the same side. It is a cis.
No.
It's a cis. Saturated fat. The next one is trans unsaturated fat. Now, this one actually have a ring. Multiple rings stick together, so this is actually a chain. Polysaccharide. This one is hard. What is it?
Phospholipid.
Phospholipid. Wow, it's not hard for you guys.
Did I get 2?
Sure.
Give me 1.
Protein. This is monosaccharide. Do you know the name?
I'm ready.
Wait, Kian, do you know this one? What is it? The name glucose, galactose, ribose, fructose. Almost, close. Ribose. It's actually ribose. Protein. It's another protein that's disaccharide. And blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh, how about this one? You guys can guess this one. That's pretty good. Polysaccharide name.
Oh, are those ring thingy?
Yep, these are one rings. Stick together and branch. Oh, Antonio, yes. Glycogen. Yeah, it is glycogen. Wow, very good. So for people at home, we are just doing a quiz.
Aye.
You can get on Firefly and do this.
Thank
And
you.
see if you know.
Thank you.
Alright, so let's talk about this a little bit. What do you guys have for the very first macromolecule? What is this?
Sugar.
Sugar? Who says sugar? Very good. Who said fat? Okay, so this is a super tricky one. It actually is a fat. Whoa. Okay, this is cholesterol. This is actually cholesterol. Now, that is really tricky because it has a lot of rings, yes?
Poly.
And you would think, oh, maybe it is a polycarbohydrate, and you're thinking it's so much more. Now, the way to distinguish it is that in carbohydrate that is linked, you have one subunit linked to another subunit, linked to another subunit in a chain. It's always a string. Or maybe sometimes it's a branched string, but it's never like a stack on each other. So that is the trick. Alright, so let's talk about these cuisine really quick. So for the American one, you have a burger, yeah? Within the burger there's meat and there's buns and some vegetable. So what kind of nutrient will be inside a bun? Starch, excellent. Carbohydrate, starch. What about the meat? Protein, excellent. How about vegetable? That's a tricky bit. Vegetable.
Yeah, but this is like one second.
Yeah, that's two sides. That's a very little. It's actually carb, but it carb in the form of cellulose. Do you guys ever heard of fiber?
Yeah.
Yeah, fiber is good if you have it in your diet. Fiber is actually just cellulose.
Really?
Yep, fiber is actually just cellulose. And us, since we are not cow, we cannot actually use those fiber, but those fiber just go straight through us and it helps our digestion. So, vegetable is a kind of carb, but it's not a kind of carb that you can digest. So it is just cellulose. Fry is potatoes, and potatoes is what? Starch, carbohydrate also. And there's a lot of fat in terms of oil, and also a little bit of fat within the meat. The drink contains sugar, and sugar is it's a diet coke, so it doesn't have sugar that you can use, but it still contains sugar and carbohydrate.
How do you know it's called?
This is just fun. And then the Korean cuisine, yes,
So is it really 0 calories?
very low, like 10 calories. It's really low calorie because the sugar you cannot use. You drink it in and then you just
Like fiber sugar.
it's like fiber in the Korean sense. You can't really use. The Korean cuisine, the reason it is higher calorie is that it got like sugar drink, and it actually have quite a lot of calorie contained in the rice. So rice is what kind of nutrient? Starch, carbohydrate also. And then you can kind of see an egg here. Well, what kind of nutrient is that? Protein, and also some fat. Cholesterol, not bad. Fat is not necessarily bad though. Then you got vegetable, lots of vegetable. The side dish contain quite a bit of some sesame oil. That's a type of fat, as well as you got vegetable. You got a little bit of starch here and there. So, talking about comparing.
But it's a lot more food as well. If you like to think about it.
Yeah, it's a lot more food, a lot more volume. That's why it's more calorie actually. But if you're comparing the two cuisine, which one would you think is healthier? The Korean is a little bit healthier. But let's say similarity. What is the similarity between all kind of food?
It has a lot of carbs.
It has a lot of carb, and it has to have.
They all have nutrients.
They all have all three type of nutrients. If any type of nutrients is missing, sometimes people go on diet that is like no carb diet, a no fat diet.
But that doesn't count because they still eat carbs. They just don't eat starch.
Oh yeah. Well, sometimes they don't. They reduce their carb. But the problem is those diets are actually not good for you because your body needs a balanced nutrient that have all three types. Now, so the similarity is they all have three types, and then the base, the carb, is actually producing quite a bit of energy. The differences is that the American food actually have very, very low amount of fiber, low cellulose. And so it's actually not, and vitamins. Yes?
If this is out of the test, but do beans contain proteins?
I'm sorry?
Do beans contain proteins?
Beef?
No, beans.
Beans? Yes. It does contain proteins. Beans contain proteins, but it also contain a lot of starch.
Wow. So vegetables can, depends on the vegetable that has protein or.
So if we were to just eat vegetables, we would be killing ourselves because there's no protein made of cellulose, and so we won't.
It's low calories. So vegetarian can. There's people who only eat vegetable, vegetarian, but they have to combine other food that have protein, like beans and egg. Or milk. Milk has a lot of protein in it.
That's not.
So the contrast would be the amount of fiber that is and vitamins in this food. So that's what you can drive. Okay, cool. Any questions? Nan?